I used to check the stock market every few minutes. Every time I looked at my phone, there it was, my portfolio value staring back at me. Up 3%, I'm a genius. Down 5%, total disaster. Now I check once a month. And honestly, not much changed, except my stress level and my ability to actually enjoy retirement. Today, I want to talk about why I stopped the daily, even hourly market checks, and why it might be one of the best decisions I've made in retirement. I'm James, 4 months into retirement after decades in high tech. This channel is about helping you maximize your money, time, and health in retirement. And obsessively watching your portfolio doesn't help with any of those. By the way, I'm not a financial expert, so don't take this as financial advice. Here's where I was a few months ago. I had a stock tracker on my iPhone home screen. Every time I picked up my phone, which is, let's be real, that's dozens of times a day, there were my numbers. The ups, the downs, the ups again, then more downs. I was watching my biggest holdings, the stocks that drive my overall portfolio value. And I was fixated on those percentage changes because they roughly showed my total gains or losses in real time. Here's what that looked like. One day, my biggest investments dropped 5%. That's months of retirement income gone in a day. My reaction? Panic. I wanted to cut spending, cancel trips. I started questioning whether I could even afford to retire. But then there were days when my stocks jumped up 3 to 5%. I felt amazing. Started thinking about buying a new car, a first-class vacation. I was flying high. And then the market would drop a little, and I'd pull back on everything. It was like euphoria to anxiety in 24 hours. That's when I realized it wasn't sustainable. When I was letting something I can't control dictate my mood every single day, I knew something had to change. While I was working, I was trained to watch the stock price constantly. My company had a stock ticker on our company website homepage. Every time you went to check the cafeteria menu or access the HR portal, there it was, in your face, all the time. So after decades of that conditioning, I kept doing it in retirement. It wasn't until I stepped back that I realized how much joy this habit was stealing from me. Think about it this way. When you're working, you get a paycheck every 2 weeks or every month. Predictable. Rain or shine, that money hits your account. In retirement, your portfolio is your paycheck. And if you're watching it like I was, you're seeing it change every minute. That's not a paycheck, that's a slot machine you can't control. I spent years planning this. I met with advisors. I used tools like Bolden. I knew my numbers. I had a solid withdrawal strategy. So why was I checking every few minutes? Logic said, trust the plan. But my heart and the ease of checking kept pulling me back to those numbers. Here's the truth. All that daily checking created was anxiety. It never helped my plan. Not once. When I checked daily, I was constantly tempted to make changes. Maybe hold more cash or sell when the market's down. Maybe sell everything when it's up. That kind of thinking is dangerous. We're not professionals. When you're watching numbers tick up and down all day, you start thinking you see patterns. You start thinking you know what's coming. But the reality is you don't. And if you're invested wisely and have a solid plan, the market works out in the long run. Not day to day, the long run. Retirement is about years, maybe decades. Those daily swings, just noise. So what did I do? 2 things. First, I removed stock trackers from my phone's home screen. That simple step made a huge difference. Second, I started doing monthly check-ins. Once a month, I do a deep dive. Here's the funny part. When I watched daily, I felt like I was losing money. But my monthly tracker, it showed my net worth is up over 5% in 4 months. I'm actually ahead of plan. Now I track net worth, all my assets, all my debt. That holistic view gives me perspective and takes away the daily emotional swings. What replaced the habit? Well, living peacefully, reading, writing, hobbies, all without a down market hanging over my head like a cloud. My wife used to ask why I was gloomy. Turns out it was because I'd checked the market on a down day. Now, I'm much more relaxed. I need to be honest though. Recently, the market had a big upturn, days of sustained gains, and I was tempted to watch those numbers climb. I didn't handle it well. I gave in and checked more often. It worked out fine, but I worry that when the market drops, I'll have the same urge. I'm still working on trusting the plan. That's really what this comes down to. Do I trust my plan or don't I? If you don't trust your plan, get a new one. If you don't trust your advisor, find a new one. But avoid day trading or constantly moving money around unless you're a pro. That's a quick way to go broke. If you're falling into this pattern of constantly checking, here's what I want you to hear. Trust your plan. And if you can't trust your plan, fix the plan. This is a marathon. A down day today gets overcome in the long run. That's the whole premise of retirement investing. Yes, stay informed, but not over-informed. What can you do about hourly market swings? Well, nothing productive. What you can do is check monthly or quarterly. Track the things that matter, your full financial picture, not just one stock's daily move. Don't obsess over part of your portfolio. Look at everything, assets and debts. That's healthy awareness. Checking 40 times a day, that's obsession. Here are my 3 key takeaways. First, daily swings are just noise. They're not your plan. Second, if you built a solid plan, trust it instead of second-guessing every market hiccup. And third, schedule your check-ins and replace constant monitoring with actually living your life. How often are you checking your portfolio? Daily? Weekly? Monthly? Drop it in the comments. I think a lot of us are struggling with this. If this resonated, subscribe and hit the bell. I'm sharing everything I'm learning, including the hard stuff, like giving in to the temptation when the market surges. You didn't build that nest egg just to watch it obsessively. You built it to live, so go live. To end, I just want to say, may your money bring peace, your time bring meaning, and your health bring joy. Until next time.